Kevin Klaus, welcome to Donna and Friends. So
What a joy to be with
have you here. You and I have been talking about this for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then just recently you said, when are we going to do this thing? And I was like, bam, let's do it.
Yeah, we had to wait for the eyes to recover after surgery.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you've got things going on. I've got things going on. And sometimes it's hard to connect. But we're here today. For everyone that is watching, Kevin, let's talk about what your occupation of sorts is.
Well, I'm a minister.
Yes.
And you and I were talking because there are so many weddings and funerals that I do. And we were talking about songs I wouldn't want at a wedding or funeral. And I just felt it'd be more appropriate to do songs I don't want to have at a wedding.
Right.
There's a lot I think of at funerals, and there's a lot that I've heard at funerals that I really don't care for. But at a wedding, what is a song you would not want sung at your wedding?
Well, I would be shocked if, the groom said, oh, I've picked a song for you and I'm not going to tell you, until the time. And then I heard it and it was like Separate Ways by Journey.
What about if during the bridal march came on, it says, dude looks like a lady, by Aerosmith?
I have real big issues with that. just listening there,
yes.
I'm like, wow, that's a big one for me. That's a big one. I wouldn't want that played. No, at the wedding. No,
I'm thinking of some of the people
you've
walking.
had some kind of crazy
I've
stuff
had some
happen.
crazy stuff happen.
And
well,
tell me a little
the
bit
very
about that.
first wedding I ever did, it was outside. First of all, I forgot to tell the people they could be seated after the bride walked in. But then it came time to, I was doing the vows and I said, instead of saying in holy wedlock, it came out in holy headlock. I think they tapped out because I think that one did not end well. They're separated now, yeah.
Oh,
but
no.
when I said you may kiss the bride, somebody lit off fireworks. Yeah.
Now, that makes me think, Kevin, when you said they kind of tapped out or it didn't last. Do you find that to be a big ratio?
In Oklahoma,
Okay.
the first-time marriage divorce rate is 51%.
Wow.
Now, across the board, and this is, people don't grasp this and how important this is. Harvard did a study and found that 88% of people that live together before they get married end in divorce.
Wow. That's
88%? That's
a
pretty high.
Big rate right there.
So it's worth the wait. I've only been married a little over 28 years now. We got married for better, for worse. I couldn't do better. She couldn't do worse.
And there you have it.
I got an idea. Here's a song I wouldn't want at a wedding. Thank God for Greyhound.
God and Greyhound, you're gone. Thank God.
I'm feeling that. I wouldn't want that song either. Or one of mine might be Shot to the Heart and You're to Blame. You Give Love a Bad Name. Would that just shock you at a reception?
There are a lot of them that they give love a bad name. The one in pre-marriage counseling and in wedding rehearsal, one of the things I do is I tell the couple, now when I say you may kiss the bride, don't start your honeymoon there.
Oh, that's kind of like that has always been a little struggle for me because some weddings you attend, it gets a little aggressive on that you may kiss the bride thing. Others, it's just a little peck. It's kind of, to me, it reminds me of high school when you have the football coronation. And it's that awkward moment. You know what I'm saying? So you do actually say, don't start it here. Don't get crazy.
Yeah. And also in the pre-marriage, and this is something people need to know about. One of the great things that happened in Oklahoma a number of years ago when Keating was governor for the state, he started the Oklahoma Marriage Initiative. And there is a program that is free that if you go onto the Oklahoma Marriage website, Oklahoma Marriage Initiative website, you can find classes that are going on all over the place. They're all free. You take the class, you get a $45 discount on your marriage license.
Hey.
And I'm one of the instructors of that class. I love it.
So you could do that for this area.
I can do it for just about
that's
anybody.
probably something that people that are considering marriage don't even think about.
And I also teach another course in that, and I teach it at the high school in the alternative ed. Finished up a few months ago, but it's called Within My Reach, and the idea is to decide and not slide into relationships. We talk about communication. We talk about
What is your
sticking with
age group?
it. At the high school, sophomores on up.
Okay. I think that's a wonderful thing to do and to have in the school system, because when you're young, we just all Twitter-pated.
We're Twitter, yeah. Twitter and Facebook has messed up more relationships than anything, and we don't know how to communicate.
Right.
Listen, the only people that listen when we're yelling at each other are the neighbors. My wife and I have never had a fight in the house. We always go outside. It's more entertaining for the neighbors. That's not true. We don't do that.
I knew that wasn't true, but it was still a great visual. I
Yeah,
just
great
had
visual.
that.
You got any other songs that you would hate to hear?
Yeah, I'll tell you, all my exes live in Texas.
Exes live in Texas.
Yeah.
It goes back to that, what I said about the living together. Do you realize that the divorce rate of second and third marriages is even higher than first time?
I am so sure that that is correct. I really think it's going back to the high school and teaching that class. I think you really have to start that earlier. And sometimes it's just not taught in the home. Or, and not to say being raised by a single parent in any way is a bad thing. In fact, I think sometimes that's a better situation. But it's tough on kids when they don't have the two-parent family and it's not a good relationship on how to be in a relationship.
Parenting is not easy.
No.
And we
it
don't
is
have a lot
not.
of education on how to be a parent. We're doing what was modeled to us,
Yeah.
and that wasn't always a good model. I was blessed. I had great parents. My wife had great parents. Yeah, we've had our difficulties, but we've learned how to communicate, how to work things out. And as parents, it's nice to have somebody to tag off on. It's like tag team wrestling.
Right.
Tag in, please take over, please take over. And we have.
That's good. That is good, yes.
And Wendy and I, we have 3 children, one of each.
Okay. That's interesting. It's Kevin Klaus.
Here's a song I would not want to have. Being a pastor, you hear all these hymns. Here's a song I wouldn't want at a wedding, and this is from the hymnal. Together we go to make disciples.
No, that wouldn't be good. And for that second, third, and 9th marriage vow, neither would another one bites the dust. Absolutely not.
What other great songs are
There's so many great songs really out there.
Dust in the Wind.
Dust in the wind, yeah. All we are is dust in the wind. It's not going to last. I don't know. But I know doing weddings and, of course, funerals, you do hear a lot of strange things.
Strange things, strange requests. I had a wedding.
Do you allow people to do their wedding vows?
No.
Okay, I was kind of thinking.
I don't. There's others that do. I just prefer
Yeah.
not.
I was kind of thinking that maybe you did not.
There's control issues. I want control. I want to know what's going to be happening next. Now, one of the things I love to do at a wedding when we're doing, do you promise to take them as your lawfully wedded wife? Do you promise to love and honor and cherish? I get in their face and I go, do you promise? And they say, I do. And when after the guy does, I do, I say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And they'll repeat, I do. And they get louder. So when you do the girl, she gets really loud.
Okay, now these couples, Kevin, that are going to have you perform their wedding ceremony, you kind of give them a heads up before you do these odd things.
We do the rehearsal, but I don't let them know about
So
something.
you don't let them know, and then you just spring it on them.
Just bring it on.
So, have you ever had any remarks
Usually positive.
from your? Okay.
Usually positive.
So nobody's like freaked out on you. You've never had that happen.
No, nobody's freaked out. Now I did have one incident. We were doing this wedding, and it was in a rodeo arena. And I handed the ring up to the man, and the horse bucked his head. They came in riding a horse. Horse bucked his head up, knocked the ring out of my hand. It went up in the air. The man caught it, put it on her finger.
Wow, is that on video?
I don't know if that was. And then
It should have been.
and they rode off into the sunset.
Wow.
And I'm thankful that neither of the horses raised their tails.
So what is the most unusual place you performed a wedding ceremony?
A carnival.
A carnival.
And let me
What's a good song for that?
Dun, 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 dun. What's unique about that one? I had moved to Cushing, and we moved here in January of '99. And a friend asked me to come back to Kansas and do this wedding in Dodge City. And she said, but Doug doesn't know about it. Christy and Doug been together for over 14 years at that time. They're twins, went to school with my oldest. And she contacted me. So we go up there, and I'm supposed to stay hidden. Nobody's supposed to know I'm in town. And so we go to this carnival, because that's where they had met, was the carnival. And I go and I hide inside the carousel. And she's at home saying, come on, Doug, we need to go we need to go up to the carnival and see all of our friends. No, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Come on, Doug, we need to go. And he kept saying, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Finally, she looked at him and says, Doug, we're going to get married. And all of this time,
So it was at the chapel?
over 14 years, she was saying, you don't love me, you won't marry me. Oh, he would say, you don't love me, you won't marry me, you don't love me, you won't marry me. So we go to the wedding, and they come up to the carousel. I'm standing, I sneak up behind him, and somebody says, all we need now is a preacher. And Doug turns around and goes, Kevin.
Oh my gosh.
So,
gosh, we're almost out of time. This is just not enough for me.
We'll have to do it
You got to
again
come
sometime.
back. But I'm thinking, will we go around in circles?
oh, you spin me
Or
around.
going to the chapel for that. So, Kevin Cost, join me again real soon, will you? And we'll talk about more weddings gone wild. We'll be back.